Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Chandler, the Geek Slays, and welcome back to the Scuffed As Podcast, episode 101. We are well past that episode 100 marker now. Hope everybody enjoyed last week's episode, where almost everyone returned. We had one guest who we weren't able to get back on, but, that's okay. That's kind of how life goes sometimes. I get it. But yeah, we got a bunch of interesting stuff to talk about today. And by a bunch, I mean like two things. First of all, there is still 2 weeks left to go get your episode 100 merch on geeksgear.store. The Keeping It 100 merch is only going to be available for another week or two. It leaves January 31st. So about 12 days, 11 days. Until it is gone. So make sure to go pick that up along with anything else. The Brains Are Weird, Wonder for President, any of that type of stuff. But with that out of the way, let's get into talking about Microsoft. Let's go ahead and do the Google here. I want to talk about the whole thing. So we're going to go to Microsoft News, apparently, because Microsoft is the best place to get all the Microsoft news, obviously. So Microsoft is to acquire Activision Blizzard to bring the joy and community of gaming to everyone across every device. So basically, this gives them a bunch of new games. Technically, King falls under this, so they will be obtaining Candy Crush on mobile. Wow, Wonder just woke up. Wow, you're a cock. Wow. But they acquired Candy Crush, Diablo, StarCraft, World of Warcraft, Overwatch. But I think the biggest, most newsworthy portion of this is the fact that they acquired Call of Duty because of this deal. Now I kind of want to wait to finish talking about this to see if Wonder wants to hop in a Discord call. Yeah, he might have some thoughts on this. Sending him a text. All right. So let's see if we can go over any other important things. Apparently Valkyrie is teasing out something big happening on January 31st. That's funny. Because, we just talked about that day. It's tough. I mean, there isn't a ton going on, but there's some stuff. I don't really want to get into talking about the playoffs. I feel like I'm probably going to get called on to Jake's podcast to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it on TikTok, so go follow me there. So, yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff going on. Fortnite just brought back Tilted Towers, so that's dope. Yeah. I'm gonna just look for some more gaming news stuff that we can get into that is outside of the Microsoft deal. So that's interesting. Amazon's Lord of the Rings TV show got its official subtitle, The Rings of Power. That's interesting. God of War is officially out on PC, so that's dope. There is not a ton happening right now. Again, another kind of dead news cycle. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot Wonder a Discord call. Let me find the Wunder Weepin. I'm gonna mute it until he looks like he answers. Hello? Can you hear me? He'll pop up eventually, I'm sure. Yikes, man. But yeah, this is interesting. hopefully Wonder will show up eventually. Yeah. Why is Jerry Jones trending on Twitter again? Mike McCarthy says he spent time with Jerry Jones after the game and met with the owner and GM on Monday. When asked about how his job status was addressed, McCarthy said they were very positive conversations. Wild. Yikes. So basically, that's interesting. So Dak Prescott now has the same playoff record that Tony Romo had through his first 6 seasons of being the Cowboys starter, which is 1-3. And basically, the Cowboys have just rebooted the same team. Dak is Romo. They both got injured in their 5th year. Kellen Moore is Jason Garrett. Mike McCarthy is the embattled head coach, a Dallas tradition. Leighton Vander Esch is Sean Lee. Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup are Terrell Owens, Roy Williams, and Miles Austin. Jerry Jones is Jerry Jones, obviously. I got a text. Interesting. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Well, I could hear you. You apparently couldn't hear me.
Apparently not. Welcome in, Wonder. How you doing, my friend?
I'm dead.
So, did you hear the big news?
You what?
Did you hear the big news?
I seen something about Microsoft buying a whole bunch of like fucking shit.
Yeah, so Microsoft, which, as we know, just last year, I believe, bought Bethesda. Well, yesterday, they bought Activision Blizzard. So, here are the 6 biggest titles or IPs that Microsoft now owns. They own Candy Crush now, so that's exciting. StarCraft, Diablo, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, and the big one that I think everybody cares about, Microsoft now owns Call of Duty.
I was about to say, wouldn't they own Call of Duty?
Yep. And I'm sure there are other titles that I don't see listed here. Let's look. What titles are owned by Activision? Spelled that wrong, but it's all good. They also own Crash Bandicoot, Guitar Hero, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, Spyro, Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm. I still don't feel like that's all of them, but it's a lot of them, which is wild.
So wait a minute. Am I gonna have to buy a fucking PC or an Xbox so I can play Call of Duty?
Honestly, maybe. Honestly, maybe. I haven't heard much about it yet. I was just about to get into breaking this down when you texted me back, so I waited for you.
Oh.
So, according to this article that is from Microsoft.com, so how accurate this information truly is up for debate, because, the side that just paid billions of dollars is making the article, but whatever.
Right.
So, let's see, where does this article actually start? Microsoft announced plans to acquire Activision Blizzard, a leader in game development and interactive entertainment. This acquisition will accelerate the growth in Microsoft's gaming business across mobile, PC, console, and cloud, and will provide building blocks for the metaverse, because of course it will. That's all everyone's talking about right now. I delete Facebook, and everybody's pretending Facebook is now actually interesting. It's still Facebook. Apparently, Microsoft is acquiring Activision Blizzard for $95 per share in an all-cash transaction valued at $68.7 billion, which sounds like it's not very much.
For all of that, yeah. I mean,
especially, I'm double checking before I make an ass out of myself. Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say I thought they paid more for Bethesda, but no, they paid $7.5 million for Bethesda. So Fallout. Why is that the only Bethesda game I can think of? Elder Scrolls, that type of stuff. They
I
paid
was about to say,
7.5
what
million.
about like Skyrim and stuff?
Yeah, and then so this was $61 billion more to be able to acquire Call of Duty. The transaction closes, Microsoft will become the world's third largest gaming company by revenue, behind Tencent and Sony. That's hilarious. Microsoft has had to make so many deals to still be behind Sony, which is funny. But no, so nothing's been announced about it yet. But what are the odds of Call of Duty becoming an Xbox exclusive, do you think?
I think it's kind of low, but it could happen.
Right? It's interesting. I said this yesterday when the news broke. I said, at what point do we start considering Microsoft a monopoly? They're just buying out every other large developer. At what point does that stop being okay?
Right. Yeah. Well, as long as they don't make it an Xbox exclusive, I don't necessarily seem to have a big problem with it, because they'll probably do a better job with Call of Duty and shit like that.
So you know of the other terrible shit going on at Activision, right? All the sexual harassment lawsuits, all of the just terrible shit that has happened at Activision in the last couple of years.
No, I guess not.
Okay, let's get into that first, I guess. I thought I had talked to you about it, but maybe not.
Well, you might have mentioned it, but it's been a while since we've talked, so.
Yeah, so here we go. We got a PC Gamer article. Everything that has happened since the Activision Blizzard lawsuit went public. So, California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing filed a lawsuit against Activision Blizzard, collecting numerous complaints about unlawful harassment, discrimination, and retaliation at the company. Employees spoke to at the Department of Fair Employment and Housing spoke to said Activision Blizzard has a frat boy culture that's been a breeding ground for harassment and discrimination. In the week since this went public, more than 3,000 Activision Blizzard employees have signed an open letter to management speaking up for victims and making a call for official statements that recognize the seriousness of the allegations and demonstrate compassion for the victims of harassment and assault. It's been a dramatic period for Activision Blizzard, including a response plan from CEO Bobby Kotick and a work stoppage by hundreds of employees. And this is just the beginning. Court proceedings are still pending. Could last for months or years if the case goes to trial. That is not all of it. No, there was a bunch of shit that I don't know why I can't find now. Probably because Activision doesn't want me to.
Oh, so what you're saying is the guy on TikTok that makes fun of Activision workplaces is actually might be onto something?
No, so he's using the actual news to make those jokes. Like, Activision is a shit place to work. Couple weeks ago, I know you heard about this one because it involved Call of Duty. Right before Vanguard released, they fired like 3,000 QA testers, or QC testers, quality control guys, because they had promised them raises and then didn't want to give them, so they fired them. So,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have no whatever.
Well, maybe everybody should just go work for Microsoft.
So after a 2-year investigation, the state's Department of Fair Employment and Housing said in a lawsuit, the frat boy culture, whatever, executives sexually harassed women, and male employees openly joked about, I don't know if I can say that word on YouTube. The good are the bet. Nope. We're gonna stop there because that's not what I meant to say. The terrible R word. They openly joked about the R word and drank alcohol while engaging in inappropriate behavior towards women at their cubicles during events known as cube crawls. The lawsuit added that women were routinely paid less than men for similar work and were less likely to be promoted. Activision's workplace is a breeding ground for harassment and discrimination against women. Female employees are subjected to constant sexual harassment, including having to continually fend off unwanted sexual comments and advances by their male coworkers and supervisors, and being groped during the cube crawls and other company events.
Good Lord.
In one case, a female employee died by suicide during a business trip as a result of her sexual relationship with her male supervisor. Before her multiple. She died multiple times. No. Before her death, male colleagues allegedly shared explicit photos of the woman. Jesus Christ. The lawsuit said the company's executives and human resources department failed to address misconduct when they were informed of it. This is nuts. Like, it has just been, in the last year, a ginormous shitstorm of stuff at Activision, with employees literally holding a walkout. They went on strike, demanding Bobby Kotick, the CEO, step down, which obviously didn't happen. But now, according to this report, CEO Bobby Kotick is reportedly planning to step down after the Microsoft acquisition. So, if nothing else came out of it except that fucking genius getting thrown off the ship, I'm all for it.
All right, me too.
Activision.
No wonder their games fucking suck anymore.
Right? It is a terrible company. When all of this news broke is when I really stopped playing Activision games. Like, genuinely.
I haven't played Call of Duty in fucking...
Yeah.
Since you and I played last.
Yeah, it's been forever. Because
I played Vanguard a total of 2 times, realized how shitty the fucking game was, and didn't play it again.
I was going to say, it doesn't help that the game just actually sucks, but even if it didn't, I probably wouldn't have been playing it lately.
Well, it's kind of morally hard to play the game now.
Right. But, yeah. I just hope Microsoft forces this dude to step down, because fuck this dude.
Yeah.
Apparently, according to the original article, Bobby Kotick will continue to serve as CEO, and he and his team will maintain... Oof. That's tough. Apparently, everybody still has to report to Phil Spencer, Microsoft CEO. I still think go with the other route and make sure that fuckhead's gone. No Bobby Kotick anymore.
Right.
But, yeah, it's... Microsoft now owns, they own COD, right? They own Halo. They own World of Warcraft, Fallout, Elder Scrolls. They own 5 of the 10 biggest gaming names, the biggest gaming IPs that there are now. And they still have Forza, which is the biggest racing game. This is getting nuts. PlayStation needs to make sure they wrap up Marvel and make sure it becomes a Sony property.
Right.
Because, yeah, this is not great. Let's see. Gaming is the most dynamic and exciting category in entertainment across all platforms today. It will play a key role in the development of metaverse platforms. Jesus, Microsoft is really in on this metaverse thing. We're investing deeply in world-class content, community, and the cloud to usher in a new era of gaming that puts players and creators first and makes gaming safe, inclusive, and accessible to all. Safe, inclusive, and accessible to all does not sound like the Activision mantra, just so you know.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'm still not seeing anything in this article about yikes, what the plan's gonna be for Activision PlayStation games. I mean, are they gonna become? I guess right now Call of Duty is still technically a PlayStation exclusive, right? Like technically PlayStation gets certain things early still, right? Technically,
I guess. As of right now, until it changes, I guess.
I love that this article from PC World says why Microsoft buying Activision could mean big things for PlayStation, but then also and PC. Nothing changes for PC players here because Microsoft is PC. Like Windows is Microsoft. So everything that is Microsoft exclusive still goes to PC. It doesn't matter. So why are you including PC in your list? The only people who should be worried really are PlayStation players.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That part doesn't make any sense to me, unless they plan on changing some shit with PC too.
Oh, fuck. I forgot. Microsoft bought Mojang, so they own Minecraft as well.
Ooh.
I totally forgot about that. Microsoft has owned Mojang for years at this point, but I totally forgot. That's why for the longest time...
Please fucking fix the problem that you and I have so that we can play Minecraft together.
Right? Oh, well, I need to get my actual Minecraft server going again, because you should be able to join that, and then it wouldn't be an issue.
Right.
But also, Discord needs to make its way to PlayStation sooner. So, whatever. Yeah,
Well, if we had Discord, we could just... You could play on PC, and I could play on PlayStation.
That's what the server would allow me to do. Because we were able to do that. We can cross-play it with our server that we paid for. We just don't have it anymore.
Oh.
Oh, shit. According to this article, Sony's stock has fallen like 4% in the last hour and 11% since the Microsoft Activision deal was announced.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Because people are pulling their shit thinking, oh shit.
Okay.
They're going to go in the tank.
But hearing what you've heard so far, right, about what Microsoft has done just since the release of the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, they acquired Bethesda and have said that Elder Scrolls and God, what is that? Fallout and those type of things are going to be Xbox exclusives. There is now like a 50-50 shot Call of Duty, Overwatch, those other huge IPs are going to be Xbox exclusives. Does this change, at least for you as a huge Sony guy, does this change your view on what console or a PC you'll get next? Knowing that you...
Well, I would probably go with a PC, but...
that is the smarter choice of the two.
I don't know if that's very smart on Microsoft's side if they made everything fucking Xbox or PC exclusive. Because I do feel like the people that are PlayStation, you might get a few people to switch over, but a lot of them are just gonna be like, no, fuck you, end your games. We'll play something else. And I think they could be losing a lot of money right there if they do that.
So, I think, I don't think they will. I think it's tough because what Microsoft is doing, which is beating everyone else right now, is Game Pass. That the existence of Game Pass is a whole different level because Xbox is guaranteeing themselves from 90% of their player base $15 a month. And that's millions of users, right? Like how many?
Right.
I wonder if there's stats for this. How many Xbox Game Pass? Game Pass launched in June 2017 and had 18 million subscribers as of January 2021. So what does that work out to? 18 million times 15. They're making $270 million a month just from Game Pass. And the more exclusive games that they have on Game Pass, probably the higher that'll get. If Call of Duty becomes not just an Xbox exclusive, but a Game Pass game, it's interesting. I get not wanting to make it an exclusive, though, because of all the game sales you'd get from PlayStation users buying it. But I think Xbox is also looking at this as more of a way to steer people, especially now when you haven't been able to get a next-gen console yet, in the majority of cases. They're wanting to push people towards Xbox. And I think it's going to work.
Well, you know what's going to happen, though. You're going to not be able to fucking buy a new generation Xbox for fucking 9 years because you can't find them because everybody's buying them now.
Yeah, but you also still can't buy PlayStations anyways, so.
Well, I know, because there are more people buying PlayStations than there are Xboxes.
Are there currently?
Well, I don't know about currently, but from launch, yes.
I'm going to look right now. Yeah, there are currently more PlayStation 5s. Interesting. I wonder... Nope, that is PlayStation 5s versus the X and S. That's interesting. Yeah, but, I mean, it's because currently Sony looked like they had the better exclusives. Like, sure, Xbox has Halo and Forza, but PlayStation, you got God of War, you got Spider-Man, you got Wolverine coming soon. Those are bigger IPs currently. Halo, 10 years ago, Halo was the biggest IP. It's not anymore.
This is the problem with monopoly that I have is, if you're going to monopolize everything, in order to make people happy, you still have to, be friendly with the other consoles or games or type of people.
Right.
Because there will always be PlayStation people, diehard PlayStation people, no matter what you do.
Right.
And I'm probably one of them. I don't like Xbox.
See, you say that, but you also are, at least last I knew, leaning towards PC, especially with knowing that most PlayStation exclusives are coming to PC. God of War is now available on PC.
Right, I get that. But
like it's
what I'm
becoming...
saying, the reason why I'm saying PC is because I can play whatever I want on PC.
That's what I was going to say, is it's becoming this thing where there is this console war over, who has better exclusives, PlayStation or Microsoft. But both of them are just like, Yeah, but we can also just put our games on Steam and make, $1 trillion out of that. So I honestly
Right.
think I don't know if there will ever be another console generation. I think both companies, PlayStation is going to figure out their own version of Game Pass, whatever that ends up being. Xbox will have it. And like right now, it seems like their only goal is to push these boxes that can get people to subscribe to Game Pass, to xCloud, to PlayStation Plus, to PS Now, to whatever. I think, consoles might go the way of the dinosaur soon, because you can just use a PC or something like that and get these companies their revenue back, because you're going to pay for whatever their service is, Xbox Game Pass, whatever PlayStation's ends up being. You'll pay for those, which is going to make them more money anyways, because Xbox and PlayStation lose money on every console sale they make. So I don't know. It's interesting. I think the console's going the way of the dinosaur soon.
Right. It's, to me, I'm looking at it like, okay, do I stay on one side and join the war, or do I, join the civilians on the sideline and just get a PC and let the war
Right?
fucking
Like,
battle it out, not caring who the fuck wins.
like the only thing currently that makes me want a console is sports games. You're not a sports gamer, so that means nothing to you. You don't play Madden or, NBA 2K. You might play NCAA football when it comes out, but it'll probably come to PC anyways. Madden's on PC. It's just better on console, because they
Right.
don't care about their PC people for
I just
some
hope
reason.
it's like, like the old NCAAs, because I like those.
Right. That is a good question.
But
Will it be that?
if they fucking changed everything to match more like Madden, then I
Right.
probably will not like it.
Right.
I don't know. It just flowed better than Madden, and it always seemed to have less problems than Madden seems to have all the time.
Sure.
Yeah, sure, you might not be able to, fucking have certain named people, or
Right.
be able to play with the one goddamn football player. That they really need to make NCAA where it's kind of both, where it's like, start out as a high schooler or a college player, and then you move your way up into NFL. So it's partially NCAA, partially NFL, but still have the NCAA mechanics. Only now you're in the NFL, and your dude just plays NFL for 12 fucking years.
Right. I think that it would be a cool idea. I don't know. EA wouldn't do it because they wouldn't make as much money, I'm sure. But it would be cool for like a $120 version of, basically, I don't know what you'd call it, but you have both basically a Madden game and an NCAA game built together. So you start your career, you can play like as a coach, as a player, as a whatever. You start it in high school, work your way through, build up, get to college, then because it's also an NCAA game, you get every fucking college, so you can go anywhere. And it would be cool if it was like
Right.
dynamic. So like depending on how your career in high school went, what injuries you had, maybe you do get an offer from an Alabama, an Oklahoma, or whatever. Or because of injuries, because of lackluster play, even because you're a smaller school, you have to go to, a D2 school or like a Wyoming or
Wyoming.
Right. That would be kind of cool. And then you get to go to the NFL, and it's all one big game.
Right, and it carries it kind of carries your stats over from how you did in college.
Everything
and
gets
that kind of
kept.
starts you off. That kind of starts you off how you would be in NFL or something like that.
Right. And they
Like you would get a little stat increase in the NFL just because you're coached better, most likely.
right.
I'm not going to say that completely because you could land on a team like the Vikings or something.
Hey,
but
hey. Don't even go there. You could land on a team like the Jaguars and have Urban Meyer be your coach.
Oh, right, yeah. But
Yeah, let's not. The Vikings are mediocre. Let's not treat them like they're the worst place to go. Definitely not Jacksonville.
Well, I'm not saying they're not mediocre. I'm just saying the coaching could have been a lot better.
Oh, for sure. But I think because then you'd have this ability to work in like rivalries, right? Like,
right.
It would be cool. This is going way above and beyond. Fuck it, NFL, give me the license to make the NFL games. We'll find a company who can do it better. I promise. Because you could work in a thing where we start our careers as whatever. You're playing a quarterback, I'm playing a quarterback, but we can do it as like an online thing. So, every time our teams go up against each other, it's an actual game that we're playing against each other. And you get to build storylines in-game between my created character and your created character that you get to watch build from high school to college to the NFL. That would be dope. I want this.
Right.
It's never going to happen, but I want it. Okay? Tough.
Yeah, it's too big brain for game companies.
Right? Too big brain. We're a size like 8 hat. I got to have a big brain under there somewhere.
Right.
But, yeah, I wonder if all of these moves make Sony actually make a move of their own. They haven't made any moves in the last 2 years. Microsoft's out here buying every ginormous gaming IP, and Sony's just holding their own. They're just doing it themselves, not paying for shit. Like, is Sony
I
gonna
think they're
buy?
kind of just sitting there like, are we still on top of Sony, or are we still on top of Microsoft?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, we're good.
The issue
That's kind
is
of the
how
way
long.
I'm thinking.
So, I can only speak on this from the PC perspective because that's where I have my wealth of knowledge. But it's like Intel, right? Intel creates CPUs, so processors for your computers. They were a million miles ahead of AMD for a long time. AMD starts making moves towards being better. So with the original version of Ryzen, AMD started creeping on Intel. And Intel did what you're saying and just rested on their laurels of, we're still ahead, it's fine. Then with Generation 2 of Ryzen, AMD got a little closer. 3rd gen Ryzen, they were about even. Boom, 4th gen, 5th gen, 6th gen Ryzen, AMD's ahead, and now Intel's playing catch up. That's going to be what happens to Sony here if they don't at least start thinking of making
I also
moves.
wonder if Sony is kind of like, you know what? We've had a good run.
Maybe. You think Sony's just quitting?
They're just tired and they're just like, whatever happens from now on happens. We're still here, but we're tired of being on top.
That'd be a tough way to go.
Yeah. It would be. It would. It'd be a sad way to go.
Yeah. I don't know. Could Sony go out and try to acquire an EA? They would then own I guess they would own Madden, they would own FIFA, they would own, technically rights to Star Wars games, they would own the rights to the fuck else? Oh, Battlefield. That would be their big push against this Activision move, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't know. This last Battlefield fucking sucks.
Yes, it
and
does.
I knew it was going to suck. I still like Battlefield 4 than I like the new Battlefield. It just seems like they used the fucking graphics and the motor for the first ever fucking Battlefield that came out. Like, the graphics are not nearly as good as even the last Battlefield that came out. Battlefield 5.
Right.
But I've liked pretty much most of all of the Battlefields except for fucking Battlefield Hardline and the newest one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was kind of disappointed. I'm sad I spent money on it.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that seems to be the trend for new games these days. So,
ooh, what if Microsoft just buys Sony next?
see, that's what I was just thinking. What if Microsoft buys Sony? Then you wouldn't have to pull the whole, oh, well, everything's got to be Xbox exclusive, because then it's your company now.
Right. Here's my thing. That would never happen. As much as it's a cool idea, it just won't happen. I think the U.S. government would shut that deal down for being a monopoly. I don't think the government would let that deal actually happen.
Right.
Just like was it AT&T T-Mobile that one of them tried to buy the other out and the government blocked it?
Yeah, but does the government really care about gaming shit?
I don't think it matters. AT&T... so AT&T was buying Time Warner and got blocked. That's what happened.
Oh, well.
Does the government care about gaming? Probably not. But the government does seem to pretend to care about monopolies at some point. Unless it's Disney. Disney's allowed to own everything.
Right. Well, I think it's not a matter of... I think they don't mind monopoly. It's how you go about the monopoly. Monopoly is how the government,
could be.
If you just go, oh, I'm going to go buy this just to fuck over everything else on this company.
Right.
Then that's one thing. But like Disney, what they do is they're just buying it to continue it.
Right.
As the name, like, just like, so think about it like this. Bass Pro Shop bought Cabela's.
Right.
And and the government stepped in there because Bass Pro Shop was just going to buy Cabela's and get rid of Cabela's.
Right.
That's where the government had a problem with it. Now how Bass Pro Shop got around it was, okay, we'll buy it and we'll keep the Cabela's name.
Right.
But we now make the profits from Cabela's.
Right. Which is
the
what Disney's doing,
okay.
I guess. And even, I guess, technically what Microsoft is doing. Because Activision Blizzard, the company, still is going to exist forever. It's just Microsoft that owns it. It's no longer its own entity, which is what Disney did with Marvel, with Fox, with Lucasfilm, technically, because I'm not going to say Star Wars because it's technically a bigger umbrella than that. But, when a Marvel movie comes out, it doesn't just say Disney, it just says Marvel. Like, it's still Marvel Studios, it's not Disney Studios. So, I guess maybe Microsoft could technically buy Sony. I don't know if I'd want them to, because then Microsoft holds all the power. I don't want one single company owning all the power in anything. But
right.
I don't know. It's an interesting time.
But I mean, I guess it makes sense because, you think about it like if Ford wanted to buy Chevy or something like that.
Yeah.
The government would not allow Ford to buy Chevy in order to just destroy the name,
Right.
In order to just get rid of Chevy. Now, if Ford wanted to buy Chevy in order to make their profit off of it and keep the name going, only, they're the one making the profit off of it, then they could probably get away with that. But but you would have a a lot of bad shit happen if you were to just get rid of Chevy, because so many people drive Chevy, and if you get rid of the name, then all of a sudden people can't replace parts on their vehicles. People, all around the world, that's super bad for an economy.
Right.
Because vehicles have a big chunk in, world economy that would be nearly catastrophic.
Right. Okay, now I'm more intrigued because I keep seeing. I know Tencent is a big company, but I don't know what they own. Tencent.com. Yikes. I want to reject all your cookies because I've not heard good things about you. What do you own? Tencent owns a bunch of stuff that I don't understand. So that's good. What? How are you the second biggest gaming company in the world, but your website doesn't show anything you own? What the fuck? I'm so confused right now, and I blame you. Oh, Tencent owns 40% of Epic Games, so they're making a fuck ton there. Warner Music Group, Universal Music Group, Riot Games, so League of Legends and Valorant, Miniclip, if you remember the old Miniclip.com, you used to be able to play games on there. I don't know if it still exists. It must, but I don't know. Interesting. Oh, apparently Tencent owns PUBG, at least part of it. So PUBG, all of Epic Games, so Fortnite. Okay. 10 cents pretty big, I guess. Sure. That's interesting.
There's not really very many games coming out that I'm excited for.
No, there's a bunch coming that I'm excited for. It's just going to be a while. Oh.
Right. Well,
Tencent also owns part of Ubisoft.
Oh.
Sorry. That's a big one.
But I'm kind of excited for Dying Light.
Yeah, I'm not really
Dying Light 2. That I know you're not a big fan, but I like Dying Light.
The first one wasn't bad. It's one of those games that I can't justify spending at this point because game prices have gone up. I can't justify $70 on that game. If that makes sense.
Well, yeah, because you're not really interested in those type of games.
Right. Elden Ring looks dope as
because
fuck.
I've kept up with them,
Right. Have you heard of Elden Ring?
Not a lot about it, but
so it is made by, well, it's not made. It was written in collaboration with George R.R. Martin. Do you know who George R.R. Martin is?
Do I know?
Yeah.
No.
He wrote Game of Thrones. He was the writer who wrote those books. He is up there in fantasy novelist history, right? And he's helped write a video game called Elden Ring that comes out next month, actually, February 25th of 2022. It looks so good. I'm so hyped for this game. I can't remember.
It's called Elden Ring?
Elden Ring.
What?
Yeah, Elden Ring.
What's it have to do with? What's the concept of the game?
So let me find the. I'm sure there's a thing talking about it somewhere. Here's their website about it. So here is the first thing on their website when you click Elden Ring. The Golden Order has been broken. Rise tarnished and be guided by grace to brandish the power of the Elden Ring and become an Elden Lord in the lands between. In the lands between, ruled by Queen fantasy name here, because I don't know how to fucking say that. The Eternal, the Elden Ring, the source of the Erd Tree, has been shattered. Her offspring, demigods, all claimed the shards of the Elden Ring, known as the Great Ruins, and the mad taint of their newfound strength triggered a war. So that is an awful way to explain the game. I hate that. It's an action role-playing game. Think Skyrim, but more mystical, maybe, is the word I want to use.
You could get more mystical than Skyrim?
Skyrim's not that mystical. It really isn't. So, journey through the lands between, a new fantasy world created by I don't want to mispronounce this person's name. Nope, I'm going to mispronounce it if I say it, but the creator of the Dark Souls video game series and George R.R. Martin. So it's Dark Souls and Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Unravel.
Well, now I'm a little more excited because I like Dark Souls.
Right.
So.
Unravel the mysteries of the Elden Ring's powers, encounter adversaries with profound backgrounds, characters with their own unique motivations for helping or hindering your progress, and fearsome creatures. Traverse the breathtaking world on foot or on horseback, alone or online with other players, and fully immerse yourself in the grassy plains, suffocating swamps, spiraling mountains, foreboding castles, and other sights of grandeur on a scale never seen before.
Oh, so it's going to be a open map.
Yep.
Well, we might both have to buy this game and play it together.
Oh, it looks so good. I just hope it's crossplay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not buying it on PS4. You can't convince me to buy stuff for a PS4 anymore. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, if it's not crossplay, I wouldn't expect you to.
Right? But create your character in From Software's refined action RPG. Define your playstyle by experimenting with a wide variety of weapons, magical abilities, and skills. Charge into battle, pick off enemies one by one using stealth, or even call upon allies for aid. Many options are at your disposal as you decide how to approach exploration and combat. Here's a little bit more of a breakdown. The Golden Order has shattered throughout the lands between. Demigods holding shards of the Elden Ring squabble and make war over the ruins of a perfect realm, now abandoned by the golden guidance of the greater will. As the echoes of this conflict thunder in the distance, an outcast arrives. Once their ancestors called the lands between home, but the blessed light of grace has lost. Wow. The blessed light of grace was lost to their tribe long ago. They were expelled from the kingdom. They are the tarnished, and they have returned to claim the Elden Lordship promised to them by legend. This is the world of Elden Ring. As a tarnished, the lands between await your exploration. You will ride through the vast fields, gallop over rolling hills, and leap to the top of rocky crags on your ephemeral steed, revealing a world teeming with life and danger. In the grand fields where your journey begins, mythic creatures prowl the, wow, what a word, the Veldst. Veldts. Veldst. I don't know how you say that, but okay. Ineffable horrors lurk in the bogs and marshes, and all manner of soldiers and warriors are waiting for those who wander unaware. What the fuck? I hate the way that's written. I really do. But it looks very exciting. I'm pumped. Yeah, it's coming to the Series X, PS5, Xbox One, PS4, PC. Now I need to know if it's crossplay. Cross-platform. Elden Ring. Ooh. Jesus Christ. That's tough. Let's see. I don't think crossplay works.
Aw.
So Elden Ring does not have full cross-platform support. If you're playing on PlayStation, you won't be able to link up with players on Xbox or PC. However, Elden Ring does offer cross-gen support, means you can link up with pals that are in the same family of consoles. So PS4 and PS5 players can play the game together, or Xbox One can play with Xbox Series X. PC is just fucked off because fuck you, I guess. That's tough. Tough for me.
Well, I guess we'll just have to talk about it then instead of playing together.
Maybe. What else is coming out this year? January, nothing. I guess technically the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection comes out this month. Next month, we got Dying Light 2, Stay Human. Horizon Forbidden West. Elden Ring. March, we're going to have... at least for right now, I don't know of any of those games, so tough. May, Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song comes out. That one could be dope. August, we're getting a new Saints Row game. Starfield comes out in November. And then there's a bunch of games that are coming out this year that we don't have details on. We're getting a Quiet Place video game. Weird.
Ooh.
I bet that'll be spooky as fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gross.
I played a Resident Evil game one time, and that fucking game gave me nightmares, so fuck those.
Oh, you're not a big scary game guy?
Well, I love the games. It just I just have fucking freaky dreams after playing them.
Fair enough. We're getting God of War Ragnarok this year. Gotham Knights, I'm super pumped for that. Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming to the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X.
Oh.
Woohoo!
Yay.
There's a game coming to PC called I Am Jesus Christ. So that's interesting.
Okay.
Hey, man, I didn't make it. I'm just telling you the name. Marvel's Midnight Suns. I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but said Marvel in it, so people care. We're getting a Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake. Sniper Elite 5. I know you might be interested in that.
Yeah, I like the sniper games.
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League comes out this year. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge comes out this year. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. A game called Lord of the Rings Gollum, which, interesting.
Huh.
Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt, which actually looks dope. And that looks to be about it. So, not a ton of games, but at least the ones that are coming out are hopefully going to be good. Like, there are games that have me excited, which didn't happen last year.
Right, yeah.
Except
There's
for,
a few of those that are...
I guess Valhalla came out last year, huh?
Yeah.
But I mean, one game versus tens. There's at least tens of games I'm interested in this year.
Yeah, there's a good 7 or 8 that I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah.
I just hope they end up being good.
Right. Who doesn't, though? We need a good gaming run here, because it's been...
Yeah, I know. We need a good year of games, because I've been awfully fucking bored. I'm tired of playing War Thunder to pass the time.
See, you say that, but it's not your job to play video games. Do you know how bad it is to actually have to find a game to play every day?
Well, I do play games every single day, so...
Yeah, but I can sit here and play Madden off stream for 6 hours. It's not that interesting on stream, though, especially the way I play Madden.
Well, at least you get to pretend like you're talking to somebody.
It's true. Well, if you weren't only on PlayStation at 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., maybe somebody in the world could talk to you.
I know. I know.
But, it is what it is. I don't know. Things are... Honestly, this feels a little to me. Do you remember in early 2020, like March through July, the streaming wars that happened, that are still kind of happening, but like they only really get talked about when like an actual thing happens, if that makes sense? So back, I guess almost 2 years ago at this point, everybody was switching streaming platforms. So, Ninja moved, Shroud moved, everybody was moving, everybody was talking about moving. That's kind of what gaming feels like right now.
Yeah. Well, with how shitty the games have been, I'm kind of ready for a change, if that makes any sense.
Right.
I just hope it's a change for the better.
Right. I get that. It's been a tough go. It has been a tough go. But anything else about this Microsoft deal you want to talk about? Any upcoming games? Any of that shit you want to talk about?
No, probably ought to save it for another day.
Save it for a rainy day?
Well, in Wyoming, it's mostly snow. But
That's a good point. But yeah, we will... I think we should wrap it there then.
Sounds good.
Appreciate you waking up and jumping on the Discord call with me.
Yeah, no problemo.
But all right, man. We'll talk later, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Laters. All right. I think that's going to do it for us. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. All the fun stuff. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Bye, chat.